smudge sitting there all pretty. But you know, since I'm here, I'll talk about this. I have noticed that most people are so full of pride that they will not take the most basic, simple instruction on the simplest little thing. And to give you an example, and a lot of y'all are going to probably say that this is nitpicking, and it's really not when you understand the larger issue at work here. But take for example that saying, I couldn't care less. How many times have you ever heard someone say, I could care less? Well, through the course of my life, especially in the past couple or few years, when I hear people say that, I don't want to say correct them, but I will let them know that that is incorrect, and I will inform them of what the correct phrase is, which is I couldn't care less, as in I could not care less. And then I explained to them the logical fallacy in the way that they said it, and the logical certitude in the correct version, which I will now explain here. If someone says I could care less, that indicates that there is some level of interest or caring about the thing which they're speaking. And what their intent is to say that they have less than no interest in it. So in order to say that correctly, you would say I could not care less, or the contractual form of it, which is I couldn't care less. And in the process of discussing that with someone today, I was informed that it is slang, which it's not. It is a saying. It is a phrase intended to imply a conceptual idea. Guess what? That's not slang. That's a saying, also known as an axiom. Now, what slang would be is, I'm sure everyone knows those little Lance peanut butter and cheese crackers that you can buy in almost any convenience store. They come in a pack of 6. They sometimes come in 4 packs if you buy something like Austin from the grocery store. Well, I don't know what the correct technical name for them is other than peanut butter and cheese crackers or something other like that, because they come in a variety of flavors. One of my favorites is cream cheese and chives on Captain's wafers. I also like the, I think it's pronounced Nakota peanut butter ones, and the chocolate ones. They're also made by Lance. But anyway, in the place that I'm from, they are more commonly referred to as nabs, G-N-A-B, and then an S to make it plural. And where that came from is one of the first, if not the first, maker of those things. The name of the company was NAB, G-N-A-B. I think it's G-N-A-B. It could just simply be N-A-B. I'm not the world's best speller. But anyway, to call them nabs instead of Lance peanut butter and cheese crackers, or Lance cream cheese and chives on Captain's wafers, is slang. So when someone says, I'm going to the store, would you like something? And I say, yeah, grab me a drink and a pack of nabs. They know exactly what I'm talking about. but it's still slang. Another form of slang would be, I believe up north, what I just referred to as a drink. Northerners call it pop. You know, what would you, I'm going to the store, you want something? Well, yeah, give me a pop and some cheese crackers. Okay, well, if somebody tells me to give them a pop, I'm gonna ball my fist up and knock fire out of them, because that's what a pop is around here. Guess what? That's slang too. You know, what they mean up north by calling it a drink is slang when they say a pop. I mean, because, you know, how do you get pop out of that? Well, it is slang for soda pop. You know, and there's also people that call them sodas. Well, they're not sodas, they're not pops, they're drinks. You know, a cup of tea is a drink, a bottle of Mountain Dew is a drink, a bottle of Coca-Cola is a drink. You know, they're all drinks. That is what they are. So, anyway, my original point was not to differentiate between sayings and slang, but to explain the pride that some people have. Because the response that I got from this person was, well, you're just not familiar with West Virginia slang. Well, I don't have to be familiar with West Virginia slang or Alabama slang or whatever slang the person said to know that what you said is a nationwide saying that is spoken incorrectly at least as much as it's spoken correctly. But what you've displayed, or what was being displayed, is abject pride, unwillingness to accept someone's instruction, and rather than doing what Proverbs 18:13 says to do, which it says, a man that answereth a matter before he heareth it, it's shame and folly unto him. So in other words, what that means is, when I said to this person, what you have said here is incorrect, this is the correct version of it, and this is why what you have said is incorrect, the response was, well, you just don't understand West Virginia slang. No, that's wrong. I do understand West Virginia slang, or Alabama slang, or whatever hill country you come from. But what you've done is you have failed to search it out for yourself to see whether or not what I told you was correct or not. So, I just double negative there. Sorry about that. So, anyway, I'm sure there are those of y'all out there who are going to think that this is nitpicky. And then there are others of you out there who are going to get the point of what I'm saying here. And the point is not to nitpick. The point is that whether somebody's right or wrong in what they tell you, it's your responsibility to search it out. So the larger implication is that when somebody wants to sit there and argue with you, especially when it's something that you yourself have already searched out and you know that you're given correct and proper information, and I'm not talking about something that you think you've searched out. I'm talking about something that you have searched out to the point that there can be absolutely zero doubt and or question in your mind that you have given the correct information, such as this saying as an example, because I have searched it out and researched it, and it is a saying that came over from England to the United States. And after it had been here for about 10 years is when it changed from, I couldn't care less, and people started saying I could care less. And so for the past 150 years, or actually it's probably closer to 200 years, because the United States is 242 years old this year. So it's certainly most likely been said incorrectly for at least 200 years. I missed my turn a while ago on purpose so I could keep talking. So when somebody starts giving you biblical scriptures and stuff like that and tell you that what you have been taught is wrong, it's your responsibility to search it out. And that's the larger issue, not that little saying. To put it this way, I couldn't care less that people get that saying wrong. But what I use those little insignificant, petty things for is it shows me a person's heart. It shows me their intention. It shows me their personality and stuff like that. Because if someone will receive that little bit of instruction on that teeny tiny thing, it shows that they are willing to receive instruction or correction or different information than what they already have about larger issues. Because doesn't Scripture say the ones who are faithful in a little bit will be faithful in a lot, and those who aren't faithful with a little bit won't be given a lot? Because they're not going, I mean, if you're not faithful in the little things, how can you be faithful in the big things? But anyway, remember Acts chapter 17 verses 10 and 11, and 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15, and mine went blank there for a second, and Proverbs 18:13 and Proverbs 18:21. I hope everyone fares well through the oncoming hurricane. I don't believe it's going to be as bad as everyone's thinking it is, but Yahweh's will be done. I hope to see you all in the kingdom of heaven, and Yahweh bless.